Deep in the Russian Far East, winter holds a brutal grip. This taiga biome is unforgiving to all who wander its depths. But the Amur Leopard thrives in this freezing, desolate wilderness. Sub-zero temperatures cannot pierce her incredibly thick, dense winter coat. She begins her grueling daily migration before the sun even rises. Dictated by a strict circadian rhythm, she must constantly keep moving. Other predators watch, acknowledging the presence of a lethal, silent hunter. The freezing wind carries a library of scents across the snow. Every breath costs precious energy in this unforgiving, frozen wasteland. She must stay completely dry to avoid freezing to death today. A Siberian tiger shares this territory, presenting a constant, lethal threat. She investigates the giant prints left behind by her only rival. The size difference is absolute. A confrontation here would mean death. She must remain vigilant. The true ruler of this forest is near. Seeking higher ground provides safety and a better vantage point. This is a vertical world, demanding absolute precision with every step. One slip on this ice would mean a fatal, plunging drop. Below her, potential meals are already starting to forage for survival. Her muscular frame handles the steep descent with unparalleled ease. Hunger drives her forward. She has not eaten in 4 days. Distant sika deer forage desperately, unaware of the approaching shadow. At the sight of movement, instinct takes complete control over her. She melts into the landscape, becoming one with the white powder. Her hearing is acute, pinpointing the exact location of the herd. The stalk is a grueling test of supreme patience and endurance. Navigating deep snowdrifts require immense energy and strength from the cat. Competition is fierce. Wolves also patrol these freezing, desolate pine woods. Her feline agility allows her to bound effortlessly over fallen timber. Every sound is analyzed, ensuring no ambush awaits her ahead. She vanishes into the shadows, a ghost within the frozen taiga. A wild boar presents a tempting but highly dangerous potential target. Her camouflage in the snow makes her nearly invisible to prey. She wisely decides to conserve energy. An injury here is a death sentence. Every footstep is calculated. Noise travels miles in the freezing air. The frozen river creates a dangerous, exposed crossing she must navigate. A Eurasian lynx watches from the opposite frozen bank, in silence. Hydration is critical, even when the water is near freezing point. Exposed on the ice, she is highly vulnerable to larger predators. Her long, thick tail acts as a perfect counterbalance on ice. She ascends into the pine forest canopy to scan the horizon. From above, she can spot unaware prey foraging in the snow. Her incredibly strong limbs pull her massive weight effortlessly upward. The high branches offer safety from tigers and wolves below. She is the apex predator of this fragile, frozen ecosystem. The conservation status of the rarest big cat hangs delicately today. With competitors leaving the area, her opportunity finally begins to open. She must close the distance before the herd catches her scent. Gravity is absorbed completely, and the forest hears absolutely nothing. The deadliest game of patience in the Russian taiga has begun. The tension breaks as she launches her desperate morning attack.
But the Sika deer possesses incredible reflexes and pure speed.
The element of surprise is lost, and the chase is abandoned. A missed opportunity here in the taiga biome carries heavy consequences. She has burned vital calories and remains entirely unfed today. Frustration is a luxury the rarest big cat cannot afford. She must reset her instincts and prepare for the long afternoon. Finding an elevated, dry stone is essential to preserve body heat.
Ice building up in her paws can severely cripple her agility.
Now, she must wait out the bitter chill of the midday. Midday offers absolutely no relief in the Russian Far East. Her metabolism drastically slows down to preserve her vital inner core. Her thick tail acts as a built-in scarf against the frost. Every animal in this valley faces the exact same freezing hardship. Sub-zero temperatures demand absolute stillness to prevent losing fatal body heat. The afternoon brings brutal gales that cut straight through the forest. Her coat is specifically evolved to withstand this exact freezing torture. Competitors are forced to endure the same harsh, unforgiving weather conditions. The freezing wind carries microscopic blades of solid, agonizing ice. Remaining motionless for too long will eventually lead to certain death. She is forced to move again to generate vital internal heat. The jagged terrain of the gorge presents an incredibly perilous path. Her feline agility is constantly tested by this completely unstable ground. The Eurasian lynx observes carefully, respecting the much larger, deadlier cat. A broken leg out here means a slow, agonizing death alone. The sheer scale of the wilderness emphasizes her brutal, solitary existence. She investigates a frozen blood trail left by another successful predator. The physical toll of starvation is slowly beginning to show heavily. Prey is incredibly scarce and easily spooked in this silent void. She has no choice but to push deeper into the forest. Navigating this terrain is a monumental test of physical endurance. Every upward step demands massive effort in the thin, freezing air. Hidden drifts can swallow a leg, instantly sapping precious momentum forward. Far below, a herd grazes, presenting a final chance for survival. Exhaustion threatens to overcome her, but pure instinct drives her forward. The shifting light signals the turning of the brutal afternoon. Even from this height, the scent of potential prey carries upward. A fresh trail ignites a sudden burst of vital predatory energy. With renewed purpose, she descends into the darkening, freezing valley below. Afternoon shadows stretch long and cold across the forest floor. The drop in temperature signals the impending urgency of the evening hunt. She locks on to the undeniable scent of a moving cicada herd. The forest awakens again as predators prepare for the twilight hours. She marks this territory. This hunting ground belongs exclusively to her tonight. Suddenly, a heavy sound shatters the silence of the Taiga biome. The undisputed king of the Russian Far East has also arrived. Absolute stillness is required. She must remain entirely undetected. Backing away carefully ensures she does not snap a single twig. The rarest big cat survives by becoming a phantom in the snow. Deep cover provides the ultimate sanctuary as she waits for the tiger. Other massive giants roam the taiga biome, demanding her constant, unyielding patience. Only her intense, pale eyes move, calculating every shift in the wind. Finally, the unmistakable rhythm of hooves signals the return of her prey. The sun begins to dip, transforming the snow into a blue canvas. Starvation pushes her limits, but her flawless feline agility remains perfectly intact. Smaller scavengers rush to secure shelter before the truly freezing night begins. Elevation grants her a crucial visual advantage over the surrounding thicket. Her entire body transforms into a highly coiled, deadly, biological spring. Twilight descends, plunging the taiga biome into a beautifully deadly freeze. This is her absolute prime hunting hour. Failure now means starvation. She uses the howling wind to mask the sound of her approach. While other predators sleep, the rarest big cat on Earth is hunting. Sub-zero temperatures have turned the slope into a lethal, frictionless trap. Her camouflage in the snow is perfectly suited for these twilight shadows. Every micro-movement is calculated to prevent displacing a single dry twig. The Sika deer are completely oblivious to the approaching apex predator. She uses the massive oak trees of the taiga to break sightlines. Adrenaline floods her system. The grueling day has led to this moment. The forest holds its collective breath as the twilight hunt officially begins. She positions her powerful hind legs, gathering every ounce of remaining strength. The deer senses a shift in the air, but it is too late. Absolute, lethal focus. The distance is perfectly calculated in her mind. She is the ultimate apex predator of the Russian Far East. With blinding speed, the rarest big cat launches her desperate final assault. The Sika deer scatter in absolute panic, fighting the deep snow. Her immense kinetic energy hits the prey like a freight train. They tumble violently, a brutal dance of survival and desperate resistance. The incredible jaw strength of the apex predator ends the battle swiftly. The immense exertion of the kill leaves her completely physically drained. Scavengers and nocturnal observers already know a fresh kill has occurred. She cannot rest. The smell of blood attracts massive, lethal competitors. Leaving the carcass on the ground guarantees it will be stolen tonight. Dragging prey larger than herself requires unbelievable strength and pure determination. The ancient oak trees provide the only true safety in this realm. The conservation status of her species depends entirely on securing these meals.
Scavengers gather quickly, waiting desperately for the predator to abandon any scraps.
Her stamina is completely pushed to the absolute breaking point tonight. Now begins the most challenging feat of feline agility and strength. She must hoist a carcass nearly twice her own body weight upwards. Gravity fights her constantly, pulling the dead weight back toward the earth. Her incredible biology is perfectly designed for this brutal vertical powerlifting. The true master of the Land of the Leopard National Park arrives. But she has successfully secured her prize far beyond his massive reach. High in the canopy, the brutal chaos of the day finally ceases. The forest observes the quiet majesty of a master hunter at rest. She has survived another grueling rotation of her demanding circadian rhythm today. With food secured, the bitter cold is no longer a fatal threat. The Siberian taiga sleeps, ruled by the silent ghost of the snow.